This is From Fat, Black, and Unlovable to Beautiful, Powerful Love, a journey of intergenerational healing and transformation. Written and narrated by Barbara C. Pamplin, with a foreword by Chief Oluwa Obafemi Ifayemi Epego. Dedication. For Mama and all my ancestral mothers. Kwesi Maxine Ingram Williams. Sunrise, October 23rd, 1937. Sunset, July 15th, 2006. Children, I come back today to tell you a story of the long, dark way that I had to climb, that I had to know, in order that the race might live and grow. Langston Hughes, The Negro Mother.
Forward. Since the beginning of time, people have been born and they have transitioned. Mankind has always pondered what happens during this process of coming and going. Since no one has ever came back to tell us, we have relied on dreams, epiphanies, and deja vu experiences to understand the cycle of life and death. Stories about crossing over were made into mythology as ways to understand death and transition, death and rebirth, death and resurrection. Despite these myths, no human has ever died and later seen alive in the same physical form. Even though many spiritual traditions across the globe believe in the concept of reincarnation, most people do not think it to be possible. However, the first law of thermodynamics tells us that energy doesn't die. It simply takes on a different form. We also understand the human spirit as energy that lives within the body and within the breath. In Ifa, we call the breath Emi, which also means the spirit or soul that works with the Ori, your higher consciousness. Emi can also be interpreted as an individual's ancestor spirit in heaven, the part of them that is in an ancestor return. Energy or spirit, including the ancestor spirit, enters the body of the baby through the breath and leaves a full-grown adult in their last breath at death. In Ifa practicing communities throughout West Africa, a ceremony called an Esentaye is held for new babies in the family. The word Esentaye means feet touch the earth. And for a Western comparison, the ceremony can be likened to a christening. At 3 days old, the baby's purpose and path of destiny is determined by elders in the community, along with the identity and lineage of the ancestor that has returned as the new baby. While performing this ceremony, the community honors the ancestors by acknowledging their return as a new person to do new things, but who may share characteristics with the ancestor. This concept of birth and rebirth is the circle of life and is the journey which started before the baby and continues with and after the baby's life. Ancestral reverence was born out of the idea of honoring those that came before us and enabled our physical existence on earth. We honor them because we believe in the circle of life. We realize that our clearest understanding of spirit is through our blood relatives that have transitioned and exist in the spirit realm. As individuals in the diaspora who descended from enslaved ancestors, we may find ourselves having thoughts, memories, or emotions that are intense beyond our understanding. For example, you may find that closed spaces, traveling by boat, or sitting under a tree triggers feelings of panic. This can be explained by corporeal Akashic records, the collective memories of our ancestors held within our bodies. When these memories are triggered, our ancestors can help us to understand the meaning in an effort to live free of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Ancestral reverence is key to our healing. Thus, as a part of our spiritual practice, we seek our ancestors' guidance through prayer and meditation to help us through difficulties of life. Our ancestors are always with us, urging us to make right decisions when we find ourselves at the crossroads. Sister Barbara was approaching a crossroads in her life when she came to me for a reading in 2016. Throughout the reading, her ancestors showed strong support and encouraged her to write in order to realize her healing. This book is the product of Barbara's openness and obedience to her ancestors' guidance. In it, she expresses her pain and the collective pain of her ancestors held in her heart. By sharing her story with others, she has taken steps to craft her own narrative and that of those that came before her. Barbara empowers her readers by laying out her healing process and transformation through her struggles. The words that flow through her onto these pages have served to not only uplift her, but to uplift others as well. By listening to her story,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?